All right, welcome back, everyone, for a new Wednesday watch list. This is my weekly look ahead to New Comic Book Wednesday. This week, we're looking at February 28th, 2024. So, this is the last week of the month. So, books coming out for February, just kind of squeezing in there. The list isn't actually that long this week. It actually seems to be a smaller one, all things considered, but some interesting books nonetheless. Hopefully, you're finding this series helpful and enjoyable. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you just want to see what books we are looking ahead to this week, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so first things first. Normally, we would start off our show with our buzz books, but I decided, you know what? We're not going to do this anymore. Why? I don't know, because I started hemming and hawing about what should be considered a buzz book as far as what other people are talking about and what books I'm just personally looking forward to a lot. So I decided to scrap this. So I'm not going to do the buzz book section anymore to top us off. But what I am going to do is this, my picks. So these are things that I'm personally looking forward to. Granted, some may be the same as, what's heating up on the market and other people are talking about, just so you can get that head start. But regardless, these are my picks. It's my show, my picks. So with that, we are going to start off with Avengers Twilight number 3. I've mentioned it before. I'm enjoying this series. Only 2 issues so far. Issue 3 is on its way. Looking forward to this. Looking forward to seeing where this one is going. Multiple covers here, and some of these have heated up, over time, over the last, month or two on the, the hot list. We've seen these books spike. I'm not saying that's going to happen with issue 3. I'm just saying be aware. Hopefully, stores are ordering more copies because more and more people are wanting to read this. But we do have a few covers here if you are interested. Starting off with a pretty cool Alex Ross showing older Ms. Marvel here, Daniel Acuna on the side. We also got a couple other covers that are actually going to be turned into the higher ratio incentive variants. So we'll get to those here with the 1 in 25, the 1 in 50, the 1 in 25, the 1 in 100, and the 1 in 200 variants. I mentioned before how the 1 in 200s are all lightning themed and focusing in on a character. You had the Frank Miller Cap with number 1 and Iron Man with issue 2, and now we have Ms. Marvel being spotlighted here on issue 3 with that lightning background. They're kind of cool, but just get the regular trade dress if you really like it, because a 1 in 200 is way too expensive. Granted, not a lot of pre-sales on these incentive variants as they are, and most of them, even the asks, are right around or even below ratio. I think there's one of the 1 in 200s listed, and they're looking for like 180 or 190 or something like that. We'll see if it can get that price. But the point being, just be mindful of your wallet. You have other options if you do like the art on these covers. That said, I'm looking forward to reading this. So it is one of my picks, but it definitely will be at the top of my reading pile because I'm looking forward to this about as much as I'm looking forward to this next book too, which is actually Duke. Duke number 3. Didn't think I wanted this series, but I am enjoying it. The whole Energon universe has my attention. The new G.I. Joe and Transformer stuff really has got me excited for these comics coming out when they do every month. I shouldn't say every month. It's almost weekly. Almost, when you stagger it out, because we have Cobra Commander, we got Transformers, you got Void Rivals mixed in. So we're almost getting it weekly, but looking forward to getting Duke number 3 here. Because we did have Cobra Commander 2 last week. Multiple covers here, and obviously, as you can see, we are getting the Baroness. I'm excited. Love the character. Can't wait to see her in this new universe, how they portray her. There is a B cover as well as a 1 in 10, which, as we've uncovered over the last couple of months, that they are doing these 1 in 10s as connecting covers. So if you like seeing like a quick recap of the story told in almost like a larger size poster, make sure you go and grab your 1 in 10. I'm not getting these because, I missed out at the start and I don't feel like chasing. Plus, I'm already buying the 1 in 25. There's only so much I can invest in because these things get expensive. But just for our purposes here, I'll show you the number 1, number 2, and then we also have number 3 being added to this 1 in 10. Again, you can see how it's forming a nice, big image. It's reminding me almost a little bit of like a Wes Anderson movie, like we're seeing inside the Belafonte on Steve Zissou's ship, with the way that you can see all the rooms and the floors and things, different things going on. But still, pretty cool if you want to go and collect those 1 in 10s. I have started off getting all of these 1 in 25s because I like it looks like the toy. It looks like the card back for the action figures. It's not exactly the same, but it gives me that nostalgia. It gives me gives me those feels. So I've been getting these. Much to the dismay of my wallet, because it is a pain having to get these. Even getting close, even when you get under ratio, it's still pretty close. Spending 20 bucks on a comic that just came out this week isn't something I like to do all the time. And I've been having to do it more and more because they're making more and more of these. I mean, you got this, and you got the GI Joe. You got the Cobra Commander one, and you got the Duke ones running with these covers. But I do like this Baroness cover. This is pretty cool. Not too much going on with it, so you can probably find one if you're still interested. Looking at the prices for this one, copy selling right around ratio 20 to 30. It's a 1 in 25. So when I say around ratio, the ratio is a 1 in 25 incentive variant. So stores had to order 25 copies to be able to get one copy of this. So generally, they like to charge ratio prices, which would be whatever the ratio is. In this case, 25. I know I've explained that many times before, but we get new viewers all the time, and I get that question more often than not. Of what do you mean when you say ratio? That's what I'm talking about, because there are a lot of newer collectors out there, so we don't want to ignore them or try to talk down to them. So try to spread information for everyone to use. That said, what's available? Well, you can see there's one listed for under ratio, 17 bucks, one at ratio 25, and then somebody fishing there for 50 bucks and has a couple of watchers, probably because they want to see if they can sell theirs for that double ratio mark. Once again, I don't know how this is going to play out as the week goes on, but there are options out there, and you can see what people are willing to buy. It seems to be hovering right around that ratio mark. Maybe it'll go above it, maybe it'll dip below it. Don't know just yet. That's why it's worth keeping an eye on. Now, there is, or was, I should say, a spoiler for issue 1 at 50. It's a pretty weak spoiler because it's pretty much out there already. So it's not really much of a spoiler either when you consider that, but at this point, you're just getting newer characters. Like, who's going to get introduced next? It's not that much of a surprise. But I'm going to spoil it for you. Who's on the 1 in 50? Major Blood. So Major Blood is on his way. We figured he was going to be here, right? I mean, it's not a huge surprise. It's not like we got a big Transformer showing up. I mean, that kind of thing might change the story a bit, but Major Blood. I mean, the only thing I could say here is surprise. There's no eye patch. So this is pre-eye patch Major Blood. Maybe we see how he loses the eye. I don't know. That said, this is also kind of hovering right around its ratio mark. You can see copies selling for 50 to 65 bucks. Asking prices right around that $50 mark. So it's a 1 in 50 incentive. People are looking for that ratio. I like this actually. I just, like I said, I just can't shell out another 50 bucks just for another ratio variant. Even 40. If this was 40, I would still be, I don't know, it's a bit much. So we'll see. And hopefully I can find one for cheaper than these prices. But if not, I'm not going to worry about it too much. It's like one of those nice to haves, but I don't have to have it. But if you are interested, you can go find one for about ratio. Now, as I mentioned, these two are definitely going to be the top of my reading list, but I still have other books that will be right next to them as well. Starting off with Dan Panosian is doing this, and this is actually the final issue of this Canary series. I think it's wrapping up this little mini here that he's doing over for Dark Horse. Pretty cool. You got Snyder, Panosian, good team. Not a lot of covers to even worry about either here. And the art here is, again, it's pretty awesome. I think Dan Panosian's underrated. We'll see a little bit more from him as this week's show goes on. But we do have this cover A, which also has a foil edition. And then there is also a 1 in 10 done by Francavilla there. So if you're into it, there you go. Go look for it. Again, nothing here that's really doing anything on the pre-sale market. So you can get these basically for cover or ratio if you are so inclined. Ram V is still running over on Detective Comics, still keeping this thing rolling. I like these cover A's. I really do. Like, I don't know if it's just because of the border, and I like the newer trade dress, but this entire run that Ram V's been doing, I've been on board. The other covers aren't bad. There are a couple of more regular cover prices. We've got Batman on a dead horse, basically, and Francavilla again doing another DC cover. So getting a lot of work lately. And again, pretty cool in the desert. Batman riding on a horse with no name. Yeah. There are a couple of incentives too. The 1 in 25 looks kind of cool, and the 1 in 50 is just the cover A in a black and white sketch. So if you're interested, those are available. Once again, not doing too much on the aftermarket, so you should be able to afford them if you like them. Like I said, I kind of dig that 1 in 25. It's got a bit of a broken statue, sort of a skull kind of vibe feeling, and I don't know, looks kind of cool. But with that, let's see what we've got next. Looks like the next book in my reading pile is actually going over to Image with World Tree number 8. Picking up that second story arc, still going along. Couple of covers here, a cover A. There is a cover B. It's not too bad. I mean, it's got that kind of a ones and zeros binary kind of skull on the screen. It's kind of a cool look. And there are a couple of incentives that are not that high. It seems like readership might be down a little bit on World Tree. Doesn't have the same fervor as that first story arc has, but there is a 1 in 10, a 1 in 25, and there still are a few shops out there doing exclusives for this series. Again, if you're into that kind of thing. But issue 8 of Arc 2 coming out now. The next, it's in the pile. Again, I'm admittedly way, way, way behind on the reading, but I know it's going to be good once I catch up. Monstrous, issue 49. The art alone is just gorgeous. Great story. It's just there. Again, I know I got a lot to catch up on, but when I know I like something, I always don't feel the need that I have to read it right away. It's the same thing of like there's TV shows that I haven't seen the final seasons of because I fell a little bit behind and I go, you know what? I know I'm gonna like it, so there's no rush. So it's the reason why I still haven't seen Parks and Rec. I haven't seen most of Better Call Saul, even though despite I really like, yeah, really like Breaking Bad and all that, and love Saul. I like what I've seen. It's just one of those things like, you know what? I've just not been in a rush because I know I'm going to like it when I do get around to it. Fargo, the TV show, is another example. I'm just kind of saving it. I don't know what I'm saving them for, but that's what I feel like with my monstrous pull. I'm just so far behind. I got a lot of reading to do. I just know I'm going to like it once I do get around to it. So it's just in there. It's just in there. Wolverine is continuing the Sabretooth War. So we're getting part 4 here. Creed's Ultimate Revenge. Yeah, I've been liking what they're doing here. It's kind of a fun little storyline. Less covers this time out as we're moving along. There is only a B cover with one of the Sabretooth through the ages. So we get another look at Sabretooth here in a different vibe. There are incentives with a 1 in 25. And as you might guess, the Virgin 1 in 100. Once again, not a lot going on in the aftermarket or the pre-sale market, I should say. Can't say after because these books aren't out yet. The pre-sale market for this particular one. I mean, the JR cover is just not really oh wait, if that's not JR, it looks like JR. But the 1 in 25 is just not really doing much. I've seen copies for like $15. And then a 1 in 100 again, ratio or less, some much less than that ratio mark, down in like the 60s. But if you're interested, those are out there. Now, a lot of you might think this is kind of stupid. Like, what are you putting this in here for? But as I mentioned, the first time when I put it, I was curious. I was looking forward to trying it out, and that was with issue 1. But I read issue 1, and I gotta say, I liked it. Now, it wasn't groundbreaking. It wasn't the best story in the world, but I enjoyed reading it. I want to read more. So after reading issue 1, I am looking forward to Crashdown number 2. This is Comic Tom and Fire Guy Ryan's comic book that they wrote. I still think it's kind of cool that those guys got together and they got to do a comic book together. And like I said, it's not bad. It's got a lot of James Cameron aliens kind of vibes to it. A little bit of Ridley Scott, also like with the Prometheus and Covenant kind of things, because you got the colonizing space. Sure, I like those things though. So I'm kind of into this story, seeing where it's going. The first issue left us on a bit of a cliffhanger, so we're going to see now that they're on the ground what's going to happen next. I want to see. So I'm looking forward to issue 2 here coming out this week. A lot of covers though. I will freely admit, way too many covers. But that's what those guys do. They got a lot of exclusives. They do all their own exclusives, etc. A lot of covers. A lot of covers. Here's cover A. I think I picked the B because I like the B cover. There's also a C, and I think there's what might be considered D, then E's. I think that one over there on the right, this kind of has like an anime kind of vibe. That one has a lot of a lot of people buying that one as well, on the pre-sales at least. And then there's some incentives if you are interested. I don't do the incentive things for a lot of these books. Just want to read it. Like I said, I'm looking forward to reading it. So I'm just gonna get that cover B, that second cover. There's a 1 in 10 though, which is the black and white version of that one. And there's a 1 in 25 looks kind of cool. The 1 in 50 is actually kind of awesome looking. But again, I just don't want to shell out the bucks. And then there is a Jim Mahfood. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. 1 in 100 here as well. I don't know a lot of shops are gonna be ordering 100 copies of this. I mean, it was kind of hard to track down that one, for issue one. So issue two might be just as daunting of a process, but I'm gonna do it anyway because, like I said, I want to read it. And there were no homage covers this time out that I noticed, unless I missed it. But last time out, I did get that Brave and the Bold homage for my reading, copy. But like I said, just looking forward to checking out issue two. So if you guys read it, let me know what you think down, in the comments below. And if there's books that I don't have on my reading list, you think that, man, it's a disservice to things that you are really enjoying, please share down below. I like hearing what other people are reading and taking their suggestions. Granted, we might not like the same stuff, but I'm willing to give it a try if you are willing to give some of the stuff that I like a try. So, let's all just enjoy comics, right? With that, quickly, we're going to just pivot over to an interlocking cover lover section here, because there is a book that it fits into the segment coming out this week. Actually, it's two books, but I don't read this. And I know I've been told before, you should be reading it. It's good. It's good. I think my buddy Chris Nelms told me early on that I should check this series out. And I just never got around to it. Now we're like 28 issues in, because I believe we're talking about issue 28 and 28 and a half of Radiant Black. Like I said, I just never got into it. If it's good, please tell me I should be reading it down below, and I will try my best to give it a shot and see if I can catch up. Because, this week, again, I don't know why. I mean, I guess they're starting this event, this Catalyst War, so I'm assuming almost like the Invincible War. I don't know. That's why I always kind of felt I got Invincible vibes when I looked at this book. So I'm like, I already did Invincible, so what do I need to read this for? But Radiant Black, there is 28 and a 28 and a half, and they seem to come together to form, a connected cover set. So kind of cool. 2 parts, I guess $4. It's not too bad. Kind of cool. And then there is also a variant set as well. So you can get these that also go and connect if you like these ones better. So I don't know. Like I said, I thought it was kind of cool seeing these sets connect. But like I said, if I should be reading it, let me know again. I do know I've heard it before to give it a try. I just want to know how high up I should put this on my priority list as far as backup reading goes. With that said, it's hard. It's hard to catch up, especially when you're dealing with all of the series that you already enjoy week after week, month after month, and then they start throwing out new number ones on top of all of that. And then you want to give some of these a shot just to see. You want to be in on the ground floor. You get that excitement. Oh, something new. Granted, I don't have that excitement for this first book, but I'm sure some of you do. So I put it in here for you, because I still haven't even seen the second movie. But Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, there's a one-shot, or no, not one-shot, a new number one starting a new 6-issue miniseries from Dark Horse right here. No other covers, just this one. So it seems pretty straightforward. If you like Avatar, maybe give this a shot. Me? Just kind of indifferent. Like I said, I haven't even watched the second movie. I know people told me I should watch that too. I just haven't really wanted too much. Like, it's just one of those things. It just never really resonated with me as much as it did others. I remember groundbreaking 3D, all that's. I get it. I don't like wearing glasses. So I didn't like wearing glasses in the movie theater. I mean, I like wearing sunglasses, but I didn't like wearing the 3D glasses. It just became an annoyance. And I got sitting there wondering, like, why do I care about watching two characters just have a conversation in 3D? I get it when there's action and things coming at you. Sure. But if there's two dudes having a cup of coffee, I don't need to see that in 3D. That's all I'm saying. But we are getting some new stuff from Marvel this week, too. Oh, here we go. Spider-Punk. So a new Spider-Punk mini, I guess this Arms Race series is starting up. Pretty cool Okazaki cover here. I do like this, but this is just the cover A. So this is the cover A, readily available. It looks like a sticker. I dig it. But there's some other good covers here as well. If you're into Spider-Punk, I like these, but I don't feel the need that I have to own them because it's one of those things what I don't really care all that much. I enjoyed the character on Into the Spider-Verse, but just because I enjoy a side character doesn't mean I need to have an ongoing or even a mini focusing in on that character. For me personally, I just didn't care enough. So to me, I don't know if I'm going to get these or not. I might flip through it, give it a try. Maybe we'll review it on tack. I don't know. We'll see. If I can get the boys on board to read it, maybe we'll give this one a read and give this one a try. But that all said, don't let that stop you from picking this up if you are excited because there are some cool covers here. That Carrie Andrews is really cool. There's a foil. It's at the Bertram, I think. Can't remember who's doing the foil, but there's a foil edition as well. A couple of other variants mixed in here. So those are all cover price variants. And then there are a couple of incentives. There is a 1 in 25 and then a Virgin 1 in 100. No, not of the Okazaki, but of the why am I drawing a blank on who drew that? I know. I'm just drawing a blank on who did that. I know who it is. It's just one of those things that just like I can't think. But with that all said, 1 in 25 is pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot going on. It's very, very busy. But again, you get that kind of Into the Spider-Verse kind of vibe. The little sketch drawings that might be on the dust jacket of your books, your school books. Remember when your mom used to have to wrap your school books with paper bags from the grocery store and then you could draw on them? That's what it reminds me of. Kind of miss those. My son doesn't have those on his books. I don't think they have hardbacks anymore. Yeah, everything's on digital and tablets and anyway, just memories. Memories for us old folks and garbage bag dust jackets made for school books. Anyway, nothing really going on with these on the pre-sale market either. They are available for ratio. I believe there are store exclusives out there, so there's probably plenty of these available for you. But if you're interested, there they are. In other news of who exactly asked for this, we are getting What If Venom. Yep, we're getting a whole slew of new What If Venoms over the next few weeks. I think it's like 5 issues, maybe. I don't know if it's more, but yeah, as you can tell here, we got what if Venom was Loki? What if Venom was Doctor Strange? What if Venom was She-Hulk? What if these are the things that are all coming? I, I don't care. I've had enough symbiotes. I've had enough symbiotes. It's like symbiote wars and symbiote worlds, and there's just too much going on with the symbiotes. Remember when it was just a suit that Spider-Man had, and then it became a bad guy? That was very straightforward. That was kind of cool. Then they extended it. Well, now it had an offspring, so now we got a third in the mix with Carnage. All right, I could deal with that. Then all of a sudden, every color of the goddamn crayon box, there's a symbiote for it with all these cool poison toxin names, anti-venoms, and what have you. It's just too much. Just not my thing. But what if Venom is being released this week, if it is your thing? Once again, maybe I'll try it to see if these stories could be cool, because I'm sure you can do a lot of fun stuff with a what if, and they're very short lived, and it's just an idea. A lot of cool ideas can spawn out of this. I just worry about another Helverine situation. We're now going to get mini series based off of some of these mashups, because man, there's not much lazier than a mashup. We'll just take two popular things and put them together and see if people like it. Not everything goes together. Not everything goes together. I saw somebody, like a place that was selling like a whole bunch of different tacos on top of a pizza, and then they had like guacamole in the middle of it on top of an actual pizza. I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want guacamole on my pizza. Not everything needs to be mashed up. Not everything goes together. I can like pizza. I can like tacos. Don't need to have them together. I can like Venom. I can like Loki. I don't need to have a Loki Venom. Well, maybe that's just me. I feel like I'm doing a lot of complaining this week. There is a I shouldn't say black and white cover. There is like a blank black cover. And then we got an homage to 316. Yeah, I do like a good homage here and there. Again, I don't really know the long history of Venom She-Hulk attacking Spider-Man, or even She-Hulk attacking Spider-Man, but okay. There is that. John Boy's giving us an homage also to She-Hulk once again. It's kind of fun, and she's holding the ASM 300. There's a foil edition that seems to have nothing to do with any of the books inside. It's just showing you a shiny Venom. And then there is the design variant. All of these focusing in on She-Hulk for this issue 1. Because I'm sure that's what this issue is focused on. Also a 1 in 25, and then a virgin 1 in 100 here of that venomized She-Hulk. Yeah, all right. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe I'll look at it, but like I said, I didn't ask for this, so we'll see. Not expecting much. That's all I'm saying. Not expecting a whole heck of a lot. Women of Marvel is one of those weird series that just gets released here and there, and then you forget about it, and then it becomes like a nice little find that you find in dollar boxes. They've done it a few times over the years where they just do like a 1 or 2 issue thing, and I don't know how long this is going to be, but we got a new number one of Women of Marvel sneaking out this week as well. Uh, you know, a lot of characters here on this cover A. Then we have some character spotlights on the basically B, C, and D covers, all open order. None of these are incentive variants. There are actually no incentive variants, which is very, very surprising to me because I feel like they might have sold more if they did. I mean, the Echo's kind of cool. That was a 1 in 25. More people, as weird as it sounds, might be buying this if they had to fight for that one or pay extra for it. I don't know why, but it's the weird habits of the collecting community. Sometimes when it's a decent cover and it's open order, they go, "Man, that would have been a nice 1 in 25 or 1 in 50." Like, yeah, but you got it for $4 or $5, so isn't that nice? But well, whatever. I mean, I get it. It's just a weird thought. I know we all have it. We all have it every now and again. But with that, we're gonna move on to something else that's coming back. Savage Sword of Conan. Now I get it. This is a magazine, maybe not exactly a comic book, but still in our realm, it is a comic magazine. There will be comic inside. Savage Sword of Conan is returning from Titan. I mean, they've been doing a pretty good job with the regular Conan comic, so why not bring back the mag as well? Couple of covers here. Actually, there's a virgin version of that cover A, the Just Go. That's the Vino is really cool. I really dig that, and actually reminds me a lot of that Bloodrick series, that 3-issue run, which also was pretty entertaining. Go check that out if you didn't get that from Image. And then we got a dinosaur one over on the other side there. All right, it's cool. I mean, I don't want to see, I'm glad the trade dress is there. I don't have to see the dinosaurs bits just dangling down on us as we view that cover. But I like the Zafino personally. With that, we got to move this along. We're already like a half hour in, and I'm only at later printings. Later printings this week. There are only a couple, but there are a couple of pain in the ass incentives. First off, if you haven't read it yet, here's a third print shot to get your number one for Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. I mean, it was all right. I mean, I don't see the huge hoopla over this one. It was okay, but if you want to check it out, here's your chance to get one and not have to pay those crazy aftermarket prices for issue 1 or even the second print and the second print incentive, etc. Just get the third print. If you want to read it, maybe take a shot. I haven't read. I did get a copy of this. I did get a copy of Moon Man. Just haven't got a chance to read it yet. Curious, but there is a second print. So I guess there is enough of a fan base that warranted second printing of this Moon Man number 1. I'll read it eventually. Again, if I missed it, if I should read this soon, let me know, because I'm sure issue 2 is probably coming, and I probably need to make that decision now whether I need to get issue 2 or not. So I should probably read issue 1. I think it's in the stack over here somewhere. All right. Continuing the not great covers on this series, which is a disservice to this character. I feel like they're doing everything they can to just sabotage this, but Marvel's throwing alliances. Here's the second print for issue 1, and like I said, it's just not great. Just bland, blah. And not only have there been blah, there's been downright bad covers on this series, but we'll see. We will come back to this. Not this issue 1 second print, but we do have an issue 2 coming out this week as well. We're going to get to that a little bit later. But the second print for issue 1, I mean, again, get it if you couldn't find. I don't know how you couldn't find a copy of the first print. There were plenty of them out there, plenty of different covers, and a couple of were decent. I shouldn't say they were all bad, but a couple of decent covers. But this one is not one of them, in my opinion. I mean, art is subjective after all. I'm just saying, it's not for me. You know what else is not for me? These facsimiles. I mean, I knew they were doing this for the whole year. We're getting the entire original Marvel Secret Wars run facsimile editions. I don't know why we need facsimiles of all of them, considering you can find most of these for less than this. Like, The cover price on this facsimile is like, $5 or something. You could find a lot of these issues for less than $5, the originals. So why do you need the facsimile for issue 2? I don't know. I don't know. Yes, I'll agree and tell you that issue 3, there were some first appearances in there. 7, some first appearances. And 8, obviously, Spidey. Even if you get into the later issues, you want that cool Doom cover on, was it 11 or 12? Can't remember. Right near the end? Yeah, sure. They might have a little bit of a premium. Again, not the black suit Spidey. That's obviously expensive. But like issue 2, I don't think anybody cares about issue 2. But getting a facsimile nonetheless. And a foil version of it. It's all shiny, prismy, look at all the pretty colors. Cool. I'm not going to do it, but if you want to do it, I think it's like $9. Again, there's no stated MSRP on the foil, so the shops you go to could charge whatever they like. I think the $8.99 is the price I saw like at Midtown. So that's where I'm ballparking it off of what I've seen. So price could be different at your shop because I don't think there is a listed price like regular comics have, the price on the front. I just know that shops, I think, paid half of this, so it must have cost the shop like $4.50. That's why they're charging $9. Why Midtown's charging $9. But with that said, I'm still not buying it because I don't care. Nor do I care. And yes, I was gonna do it, but there's more than one this week, so I couldn't fit these all in the WTF section. But had I done this section, I would have done these 3. And we're gonna do them all right now. So maybe I'll run it anyway, but we're not doing the full segment.
WTF, Gary. WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
Yes, 1 in 25 on these facsimile reprints. The other cover was the cover for issue 2. That's a facsimile reprint. That's an exact replica. That's what a facsimile is. This is just another cover on a reprint. So this is just a reprint. You can call it what you want. When it's 1 in 25 to qualify for it, whatever. I don't care. Personally, I don't care. I think this is stupid. It's unnecessary. And it's just grab at all of your wallets. And all of you partaking in this and buying in on these pre-sales are contributing to this bad behavior by Marvel. We do not need incentives on facsimiles to begin with. They're reprints. Nor do we need new cover art on a facsimile reprint. That makes no sense. But if you want to see a fastball special getting started, okay, fair enough. Nick Bradshaw cover. And then we get this. I love this cover. This was one of my favorite covers that Jim Lee had done in his run on the X-Men. Loved 268. Yes, they went back to Madripoor recently. That story was not good. These characters telling those stories from back in the day, it wasn't great. It just wasn't that good. It's almost like hurting my nostalgia for this issue by that new release. Ugh. Anyway, not talking about Madripoor Nights. We're talking about the facsimile reprint for Uncanny X-Men 268, which is a little pricey. It is a classic Jim Lee X-Men cover. You can find it. It could have a premium attached to it. So fair enough. Reprint, facsimile reprint, fine. Not opposed to this. Don't think we really need a shiny foil version of it, but we're getting that anyway. So once again, maybe around $9, you can get yourself a shiny foil version of this, even though it wasn't foil to begin with. So we're really stretching that facsimile by slapping foil on it. Go ahead. If you're into it, go ahead. It's your money. Do what you like. But once again, what WTF? Why do we need an incentive for this? Where the art's worse. I'm sorry. I like, Ron Lim has a special place in my heart. Silver Surfer from back in the day. But this doesn't compare to the Jim Lee's original. So why would you even want this? Why? Like, who would even... this is the one I want. Why? Well, because it's hard to find. It's 1 in 25. Who cares? Why do you want this? It's a reprint with a worse cover. That's supposed to be a facsimile, but it's not because they put a worse cover on it. I don't get it. So, if anything should have been in the WTF section, this one right here. would have been there if I would have done it. And I know I just did a makeshift one as I was filming this, but it's because of this one. I'm sorry, it's worse. Who would want this? Ugh. Anyway, I know you guys do this too. I'm not as stringent on it because it's not a facsimile, but here we go. Second print on Wolverine number 41. Sabretooth War, part 1. People are reading it. People are enjoying it. Okay, we might need. Copies might be hard to find now. We might need a second print of this. But do we really need an incentive? Do we really need to incentivize reprints? Reprints are there so people can get to a story that they may have missed, or they may not be able to afford the original copies now. That is the purpose in my mind for a reprint. Other people like to view them, well, it's a lesser printed, harder to find edition. It's not. It's still a reprint. So all those first appearances, you're getting a reprint of a first appearances. That's not the same thing in my mind. But collect how you want to collect. If you want to go and shell out money for this black and white Greg Capullo cover, it's your money. Do what you like. But I am not spending $90 on this 1 in 25, nor would I advise anyone else to do so. I don't care. Make your arguments. Well, how hard to find the print run. I don't care. But still, people are buying it. You guys are doing it, so they keep doing it. So I'm blaming you. $50, $50, $90. There's asking $100. They're asking $200 for this. Why? Think before you act. Do you really need this? $200? Anyone think that would be a good idea? I don't know. Getting off my soapbox. Sorry from a makeshift WTF section right there in later prints, but I really felt it was warranted because those are just some bad ideas. Speaking of bad ideas, I thought this was going to be cooler, and I even started to do. I had set up the whole run of shorts for these Marvel 97 variants. I got them all ready to go, but I only released the one, and you guys didn't even like it and watch it. So I said, you know what, I'm not going to do the rest because on top of the fact that nobody really wanted to watch them, I don't like these either. In fact, I'm kind of mad that I made this little subsection for this because some of these are just not good. But I started it, so we're going to see this thing through. Punisher. Yeah, ponytailed Punisher. Just what I always wanted. Feels like the 90s, doesn't it? Iron Man. Dodo. Okay. But it's just kind of blah. Meh. Do I care? Do I need this? Probably not. Thor. Immortal Thor. Look at he's all jacked up. He's almost like a mix between like a He-Man character and a Marvel superhero squad. All right. Different take, I guess. Immortal Thor 7. Sure. And then we got Amazing Spider-Man. If he didn't have the background, I don't know what would make me feel this was cartoony. But I think that's what they're going for with the 97 variants. To bring you back to those, X-Men 97 that the cartoons come in, and just want to spread it out to all the Marvel books. I don't know. But they made them. They made them. Hopefully we're done with them. I think we're done. But we do have, again, a few more, also wrapping up our little side segment for February. Black History Month variants. We do have a couple more, I think, wrapping us up. I don't think they trickle into March. We'll have to see if we have any next week following up on this. I don't think so. But we do have one more Star Wars here on the Thrawn book. Yeah, so we're going back. I mean, it is, once again, Lashley doing these covers. And can't think of my man's name from episode 1. I'm drawing a blank. It doesn't matter. If you want it, there you go. Also wrapping it up over on the DC side of things. They were doing their own covers to celebrate Black History Month, and we have one on Green Arrow number 9, and it's terrific here on What book was this? Oh, The Flash. So we got Mr. Terrific on The Flash. They're okay. Not not great. I feel like they should have ended with maybe some of the ones from last week. Like that Nubia one was pretty good from last week, as was the Green Lantern. I think they should have stacked them differently. But whatever. It's over. It's over. Much like DC's sweater weather covers. So we only get one more of these for this run of variants. I did do a short on these earlier today on Sunday. Drop that. I don't know if anybody's watching that or not, but I thought it was kind of fun to throw all these together, these cheesecake and beefcake covers. But our final installment in the sweater weather is definitely a cheesecake cover. But since we have the sweater weather category, it's here, and that is the Power Girl with the snowman in her little bikini because, well, it's Power Girl. Like I said, if this didn't have this little category that I made the last couple of weeks, this would have just been in the cheesecake section. So let's just get into that and get through these ones as well. Couple of pretty cool covers, just randomly in there. Starting off with Amazon's Attack. Not all of the covers for Amazon's Attack number 5 would fit this category, but I did like this cover here for issue 5. And then kind of almost in the vein, it is Wonder Girl. We did have this one as well. So I threw this one in here. This one might not be as cheesecakey as, say, Power Girl. Once again, Power Girl number 6. It's just that open spot on her outfit. It's just, sure, I get it's iconic, but it's automatically going to put you in this segment basically every month. So even though the cover A is not in here, this is, I believe, is a B cover. There is a foil edition that you can get that's nice and shiny, and there is a Jen Bartel that looks almost more like a sketch, but I really dig it. I don't know. There's just something about it. I actually really like it, even if it does look unfinished. I don't know. I dig it. What I also dig, and I probably should have ordered one, but I didn't, is the one at 25, because I mentioned him earlier. Said he's underrated. Dan Panosian. I like this. I don't know why I like this so much, but I do. Like, there's something about the setup here. I like it. And other people like it too so far, as there are some decent pre-sales on this 1 in 25 already. We have some sales in the $45, $50, $55 kind of range. Asking prices anywhere from 40, 45 to 50 bucks. So 1 in 25, basically looking at double already on the pre-sales. We'll see if that maintains as we get through Tuesday, because this is DC after all. So this will be released on the 27th of February. We'll see how it goes and see if there's enough volume there to make this one a hot book for this week, because it could. This has potential, but we'll see. These are pre-orders. I put some weight behind them, but not all the weight, because, again, we have to see what happens when the book actually hits people's hands and what they do with it then. With that said, DC, those are their cheesecake covers for this week, which is going to take us over to Zenescope, because, well, there's always Zenescopes, right? And I make fun of Zenescope all the time for every issue's an issue 1, except this week. This is the week. Van Helsing, Vampire Hunter, number 2. Look at that. It's not a number 1. It's a number 2. But we have this cover. I don't know which ones are A's, B's, C's, whatever. Here's just a couple of cover options I think were pretty good. I like that last one. I think it's Sonia Martin or something. I can't remember the artist's name. It's so hard remembering all these newer artist names, especially on the Zenescope books, because they do so many different things. They bounce around. So you like Pierre Luigi and etc. It's just hard. And Burns. It's just hard to keep track. So I show the ones I like and be like, yeah, these are kind of cool. Make me think about it. But there are so many covers. Again, I don't know what's going on inside this book, but I'm surprised that it's actually an issue 2. And we had Grim Fairy Tales, number 81. Look at that. It's been running a while. So we got a couple of options here, including a Villa Lobos that actually I like quite a bit. I mean, Villa Lobos is kind of like I don't want to say heir apparent to Hughes, but in that realm, in that vein, in that style, kind of following in those footsteps. So go from Stevens to Hughes to maybe Villa Lobos. We'll see. Still got to do a lot more. Still got to do a lot more to kind of take that lofty place, at least in my heart. But getting there. Getting there. And there's another one. And it's also not a number 1. It is Holmes and Houdini #2. I don't know what this weird series is, but there are some covers. Uh, Again, believe that's Burns in the middle, Josh Burns, and I can't remember who did the one on the right, but I do like that one actually quite a bit. And this is a sneaky one in that there is a sneaky variant as well for that Burns in the middle, where it's a little more risque. If you can find it, you'll probably get a decent premium. I haven't seen any pre-sale or any listed, so who knows what this one might do on the aftermarket. But these covers are very like a niche, kind of a niche market, so it's hard to tell. It's hard to gauge what you can get in return. I mean, collect what you want to collect. I'm not going to judge you for it, but just don't overpay if that helps. But again, who knows what the pricing would be on a book like that? I mean, it's just going to take a want and a desire, supply and demand, and see what happens from there. We're getting this. Black Mass is giving us issue 2 for Destiny New York. I believe this is a Lyrics Lee cover, and there is a Virgin version of this one as well. So pretty cool if you're into it. I don't know what's in this series, what the series is about, but pretty cool cover. Fire and Ice, Tigra, #1. Here's another Panosian cover. It's gorgeous, gorgeous art. Dynamite, and it is Dynamite. I'm surprised there's not a ton. They've actually practiced some restraint here, but we have the Panosian cover on this Tigra, and then we do have a B cover as well. Not bad here. So either of these I think are pretty good, as well as we have one of the covers for Conan the Barbarian over at Titan. I think this one is pretty sweet as well. So I did order one of these for myself because, again, I've been liking the Conan the Barbarian series, so I had to pick a cover. This was the one that I picked for my collection. Hopping on over to Dynamite now. I probably shouldn't have had that Conan book in the middle, but probably should have flip-flopped them because I could have done Dynamite. But here we go. Back to Dynamite. Red Sonja. It's all kind of interconnected. Fire and Ice and Conan and Red Sonja. So Red Sonja, #8 here. We got a Perillo. He's been doing these for a while now. There is a Bjorn Barons as well as a Linzer. So any of these could be good if you want to add them to your collection. Getting close to the line, maybe not exactly fitting the cheesecake cover, but pretty close. White Widow, the Rose Besh cover this week. I kind of like it. Kind of harkens back to that silk cover you did with the sneakers. But White Widow, Rose Besh, I think it's pretty cool. There is a trade dress version, which is why I'm showing you this here. You can get this one for cover price. It's $4. But if you want to get the Virgin version, which is the 1 in 50, you may, but it may cost you a little bit extra. Now, none have sold that I could find yet on the pre-sale market, but the asking prices for this 1 in 50 are $100 and $190. I don't know how many copies of this may be available because I don't know how many people are ordering 50 copies of White Widow at this point. But until one of these sell, we don't know what the market might be. Maybe a new one comes to market for cheaper. Maybe they don't. Maybe one of these move. Maybe there's some offers made. Who knows? But we'll keep an eye on this. That's a tall order there, Nordberg. So we'll see. All right, those are the cheesecake covers. There are other covers that I like as well. Just to kind of wrap us up here. I do like this. I think this is a Raza Thrawn cover. Just dig this one. So as I mentioned, not all of the Thrawn covers are bad, but there are a lot of bad ones. But this one is my favorite for the week. Maybe not my favorite because there's another one. But I do like this one for issue 2. So if you want to pay a cover price, get this one. Miles Morales, I've not been reading this series, but this is a pretty classic kind of look, villain like kind of shot here. Pretty cool. I know we've seen this villain in here before, so it's not like a new introduction or anything, but it is a classic kind of feeling for an old school comic. So I just liked it on its own. On its own, it's almost got me wanting to pick this up to see what's inside. I say almost because, well, I don't have time. So unless somebody twists my arm and I got to read Miles Morales this week, probably not going to do it. That said, this cover here also is a pretty cool. I think this is the Matina Batman Brave and the Bold #10. It's I don't know, it's just cool looking. I just like it. I know it's got that kind of Dark Knight's death metal kind of vibe, but it's just cool. I don't know. That's all I could say about it. And just for something a little bit different, I like this Harley. I don't know. It's just something about you got all the Ben-Day dots. It's classic. It's super close up. You just got your hands on the bat. I don't know. There's just something that I just like the simplicity of this cover. I don't know. I dig it. But sticking with this book, this is going to take us into our final segment, our incentives for this week. Because we're going to stick with Harley for a second because there is a 1 in 25 on this Harley. I don't love this one. Her legs look a little too stumpy, and it's just, I don't know. This one I'm not in love with. That said, I'm not in love with the 1 in 50 either, but that's not because it's not good. It's just because it's creepy as hell. This 1 in 50, that is just a look you don't often see associated with Harley. Like, this is just a creepy cover. It's different, and I do like it. It's just different. With that, there is a crazy price on this. 1 in 50, obviously. So $45 not too bad. That was the most recent pre-sale, but some of the other pre-sales hit as high as $90. And I say that interesting because when you look at the asking prices right now, 150, 158, $185 for this 1 in 50. Where did we get from there to there? I don't know, but I don't know whether they're throwing out those prices to fish to see if they get any bites on these tall orders. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this one, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. And something that, yeah, I don't know. Check out, see if you can get it at your shop. I don't know. It is a 1 in 50, so it probably won't come that cheap, but it could come with a big time turnaround if any of these start to move. I just think something about this Harley series and some of these incentive variants, because even I've looked ahead and I think it's issue. I don't often do this. I don't often look at FOCs. I often don't look that far ahead. But lately, I've had to a little bit for some of these incentives because if I want to get them without paying $185, I got to look ahead. And one of those instances is the 1 in 50 for issue 39. It's like a space bubble helmet Harley. It just looks cool as hell. But that one's already, go check the pre-sales on that one already. That's 39. It's 2 months out. But it's already gotten expensive. So finding one even close to ratio, even if it was a little above, wasn't easy, but I liked it and I just did it. So sometimes we do things we don't like just because we want something. With that said, good luck on this one. We'll see how it shakes out as the week goes on. I mentioned Miles earlier because I like that one cover, regular order cover. Here's the 1 in 25. Also not bad. You got all of the villains here, all mixed in, hobgoblins and starlings and venoms, etc. Pretty cool. Not doing anything on the pre-orders or anything like that, but thought it was cool enough just to show you this cover because, yeah, if you're into Miles, this is a solid Miles cover. If you are into this new Punisher, this is a decent 1 in 25. I don't think anybody cares. Because I don't think anybody cares, and myself included, about this new Punisher character. I just don't care. But here he is, issue 4. But once again, it's not a bad cover. Pretty cool. But I'm still probably not getting it, even though it's pretty cheap. If you did want it, you could probably get this for like half ratio. Now, I don't know if it's just because we've had that Spider-Gwen Smash Dazzler cover doing well the last couple of weeks, but here we go. Is it the Taylor Swift effect? People just hoping still? It's just people just that infatuated Dazzler. We're getting another Dazzler cover variant on Dead X-Men #2. And it's got a little bit of buzz around it. 62, one for $30 sale, one $62 sale. Let's give you a frame of reference. So right around ratio, a little above, and then double plus. And then asking price, $45, $63. So I don't know. We'll see where this one also shakes out for this 1 in 25. I did not enjoy reading this first issue, and I'm not looking forward to this issue too. And I'm an X-Men fan. You guys know that. But man, this wasn't that great. It was not good. But we'll see if it gets any better. That said, I'm probably not getting this cover because I'm not paying these prices, and I'm not that huge of a Dazzler fan. I mean, it's all right. It's not bad, but I don't know. I did, however, order this next book. I found it. Good price. I liked it. So I got it. So I did pre-order this Invincible Iron Man #15 because I thought it was kind of cool. I think it's Emma Frost in an Iron Man outfit, all white, flying above the planes. Just the simplicity of the image. I thought it was kind of cool. Plus, I think Midtown had it, and it was only like $12 or something like that. So I pre-ordered one because it was cheap for 1 in 25. I mean, it's just saying that's cheap. I liked it enough for that price. That said, it actually has a couple of decent sales. Granted, you can see a little under ratio around $20, but then there are moments where it hit 45 on the pre-sales. Asking prices right now, right around $30, up to 45. So, not saying this is going to be a hot book or anything like that. Not trying. I did, like I said, I ordered one for myself because I liked it. To me, it doesn't matter what happens because I'm not going to sell it. It's fine. I bought it for me. I'm not going to try to flip it because I wanted it. That said, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this one. Like I said, I like the art, and I thought it was like a cool image. I also like the art in this next one, so I made sure I got a hold of one of these pretty early on as well. 1 in 25 for Thrawn Alliance is number 2. I feel bad now saying there were all these terrible covers, and then I've now shown you like 3. Well, one of them was bad though. Of the 3, 2 of these have been good. But the 1 in 25 for issue 2, this Lionel U cover, I think is pretty good. I think it's a pretty good Thrawn. It's a pretty good Anakin. I like it. Like the layout of it. I like it. So I made sure I got one. It could be tough if you guys are out in the market for one now, because right now, this 1 in 25 incentive variant is looking more for about 50 to 60 bucks. As far as sales go, asking prices, well, 50 to 60 bucks. So people are basically going double ratio on this one already. We'll see if it holds. We'll see if it holds throughout the week and how many actually sell for this price. But that seems to be where the market is right now on this Thrawn number 2, 1 in 25. And then we have an oddball entry into this week's festivities in that I don't know how many of these we will see. We have a 1 in 50 on the giant size Fantastic Four number 1. So it's a giant size edition. We had one of these, I think, for Spider-Man or Venom not that long ago. And again, there was a 1 in 50. But how many places are ordering 50 copies on this giant size edition? Not as many as you might think. Especially it's got a little bit of a bigger cover price, I believe. But it's a pretty cool cover. I like this Namor cover with Johnny Storm and the Fantastic Four there. I like this cover a lot. But I don't know if I could shell out the bucks this one might cost. Again, not seeing many copies out there available. Didn't even see any pre-sale yet, but the asking prices on the 2 that were listed are looking for $180 and $185. Well above that 1 in 50 ratio. So, once again, we'll see what happens if any of these sell, but that's what people are fishing for right now. We'll see if they get it. And with that, man, this one ran in almost an hour. I don't know how. It's not that long of a list, but it took a lot of time. With that said, thanks for hanging in there and stopping by and checking this out. Hopefully you found this series and segment interesting. Hopefully I've showed you some books that you might want to try and give a shot. Hopefully I talked you out of maybe buying some books that you probably shouldn't. And if there's things you want to suggest for me to check out, please put it down below. Again, I love comics. I love reading comics, as I know many of you do as well. I also like collecting and investing in comics, as I'm sure many of you watching this also do as well. We can all live together in this same pool and treat each other with kindness and respect, because some people might like to read books. Some people might like to flip books. Comics are a hobby. There's room for all of us here. And let's just keep it civil. And let's keep each other informed. Like, again, you know stuff that I don't know everything. Please share it and share it down below in the comments for everyone else here as well. And with that all said, make sure you come back on Wednesday for the tax show. I believe we are having a special guest this Wednesday, so make sure you join us live. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do for my Tuesday show yet. And, we got our live shows all weekend long. So make sure you come back for all of our content, including the Hot 10 on Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And with that all said, I'll see you all later with some more content. All right.